Hello, flower friends. This is Jenna, and I'm so excited to share my friend Louise from Jo.An Floral Design in Texas. If you guys are on Instagram, you have probably seen one of his charming videos of him making a stunning bouquet or just really sharing the behind the scenes of his business, which is always fascinating because we always wonder what is really going on in someone's business. So I would love for you to introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about your background and like all the amazing things you guys do as a family running a business.
Great to be on the show, and so great to meet you virtually, at least. Well, my name is Luis Ramirez. I'm one of the owners of Jo.An Floral Design. We've been in business for almost 3 years, coming up in November. So it's been a fun ride so far. A little bit on how we got into floral design is in our background. I came from a floral family, so we have like a wholesale in Honolulu, Hawaii. So my entire life has always been immersed in flowers. Ever since I was a kid, we would go to the tienda, I'm Latino, and help pick up leaves. And as I got older, I got a little more interested in floral design. From there, I was maybe about 17, and I left Bella Rosa to go work at Japanese flower shops, where
Cool.
I really became immersed in that culture, got to learn Japanese, at least conversationally, and got to do some international designing, which really grew my skills, as a person and as like a designer.
Yeah, I mean your design skills, like not only like your bouquets are beautiful, but you curate wedding receptions and like just the installations are magical. Like that disco ball one you did,
Oh, yeah, that was great.
so good. So it's not just you, it's you and your family. So tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as you know, we have an interesting name, Joanne, and it's come from my wife's name, who's Josefa, and my daughter, Annika. So I just put the two words together to create Joanne Florals. And she's not a florist, but she is definitely the woman behind the man, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Joanne could not operate without Joe. She gets our staffing together and makes sure we have all of our hard goods in lines for every week, every month. She does all of the supply purchases. Um, and she just really is the brain behind Joanne, I would say. Annika, she's a different monster. She has come to the realization that one day she will own Jo.An Florals. So she comes in here and she tries to design or practice. She is getting a little more interested in what we are doing, which is really, it makes me feel proud that she is just 9 years old and she wants to be involved a little more in the company. She even has her own email address. So it's really fun. Some of the challenges that we have faced as a family having such a high volume business is finding time for one another. I think that always gets me every season that I will come home rather late. Sometimes, after a breakdown, it's 1 a.m. and I go to breakdowns.
Oh,
I
you
believe
do?
that yeah, I do. We do outsource, but I
Mhm.
like to go, if my staff is going to work a breakdown, I'm going to work a breakdown because I'm not better than them. And I just feel like I should be there because no one's going to take care of the business more than I am.
Yeah.
Um,
But you
but
guys are also doing big breakdowns. I mean, the weddings you do. What do you think the average wedding like dollar wise is that you
for
guys
Joanne, I mean, it varies, but we usually run between 12 and 30.
12 and 30 and
Yeah.
that's an average.
Yeah.
And how many are you doing like a year now? I mean, 3 years, it seems like you've blown up.
Yeah. I think we pumped out, I can't give you a number. I never remember, but it's over 50.
It's over 50.
It's over 50. Yeah. It's
That
not more than 70, but it's definitely over 50.
that is crazy.
Hmm.
You should be proud of yourself because that's like 3 years you've
Yeah,
blown.
it's been, I just feel like, I guess as a brand, I really try to make us accessible to everyone, We
Yeah.
won't I'll talk to everyone, even if like your form comes in below our minimum, I'll still talk to you and try to like bring you in, and I really feel like flowers should just be accessible to everyone.
Yeah. So what is your minimum? Like, and do you
We've
follow
been
through?
playing with it, but we start off at 6. Next year, we'll announce that we're gonna do 7.
Okay.
But I've noticed that I have put my minimum to like 8, but you'll see your inquiry rate just plummet.
Yeah.
So I don't find it's necessary for me to raise my minimum when I know my average that client is gonna spend 10 at least,
Yeah.
with me, because I feel like our website and Instagram shows that this is the kind of wedding you know what you're gonna get into when you like sign a contract with us.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I found you is the brand that you've built. And it's one of the topics that I wanted to talk about today because I feel like people don't understand that a brand is what inevitably is going to start attracting those bigger weddings.
Yeah,
I think a lot of times, like, there's just pieces missing. People thinking, like, all of a sudden, magically, I'm going to get $10,000,
yeah,
$50,000 weddings. Or they want, of course, they follow some of the educators that, we've gone back and forth on Instagram
yeah,
that, hey, you're just going to start doing $30,000 weddings, that just like that. And I don't think that's real. Like, it takes work to get there. And it seems like you've really shortened up the time frame that I've seen a lot of florists have to go through to get there. And I think that's with the brand you've built. So talk a little bit about, how you've kind of thought about building your brand.
I think I'd like to kind of backtrack first and foremost that before we started the business, I've been in floristry for 16 years prior to that. So I've always been doing flowers. So I already had a very strong skill set when it comes to like designing something, as well as like building my own personal style. So I think that's like a really big thing that a lot of these coaches like let you come in and they're like, you're gonna do, like you said, $30,000 wedding. But if you don't have the experience or like the skill set to execute that wedding,
Yeah.
people are gonna notice. Like they're gonna see like, oh, that arrangement doesn't look as good, or I see a little piece of tape, like these little things, people notice them.
Well,
And
and
I
you're
just
scared shitless. It's just not real. Like, how can you
yeah,
go from here? Because those are the clients I often will get a DM about, and they're like, I am so scared to all of a sudden they magically did book. I mean, I'm still sometimes curious, like how, but they
yeah,
magically did book a big wedding and they're not ready.
yeah,
That takes a lot of skill to be able to pull off a $30,000 wedding is
yeah.
very it has such integral parts.
Yeah, you gotta have the cooler space, the staff, the hard goods. Like over the last, even like the hard goods itself, over the last 2 years, I have amassed well over 6 figures in like rentals. Like just all that money just plowing it back into your business. It's a lot. And then the space, you need somewhere to have that.
And you guys
Um,
used to be in your house, you
we
mentioned.
used to be in our house. We used to have our house is a 2-story, 2,400 square feet, and we enclosed. The first thing we did as a business when I booked my first wedding, which was it was $30,000.
Holy
I think
shit.
she was like $34,000, my first booked ever. And
But you had been a florist.
but I have been a florist,
Yeah.
yeah, and I already knew that planner, and I've known all the planners here, which is why I think we got such a head start. I used to work at a really big event company, and I used to do sales for them. And then when I left that company and I won't name names, I went to a different company and I was their lead designer and I brought my planners over. I emailed them like, hey, I'm here now. And when I left that company and started Jo.An, I just reintroduced myself as Jo.An and they all just, flocked over. I think working for people, as crappy as this sound, is necessary. You have to work for like as a salesperson, you got to do that grunt work to build those connections because brand building, as much as it is your design aesthetic, is about relationship building. And I think people don't understand that or go do that charity event. Go, don't overdo it. Don't be giving out flowers to everyone, but like things that are good for good cause, like maybe like ILEA, or I don't know if you guys are familiar with WIPA, really great
I'm
places to
I'm on
like
the WIPA board.
yeah,
We
great
just
places to like,
formed a
do
chapter.
flowers for, but just make sure that if you're gonna work with somebody that they're understanding that this isn't free, like you're expecting an ROI. Because I think a lot of planners don't do that, and I've been very vocal. If a planner comes to me and asks me for something for free, I expect 3 weddings from you this year.
And you just straight out ask for like,
I don't ask, I tell them, or you can't work with me. I'm not like at that. My business is not at that level where I need to be doing things for free. I expect ROIs.
okay, and how does that go over? Or they just know that that's how it is?
No, I tell them if it's someone who hasn't worked with me, I tell them exactly how it is. And if they would screw me over, then they will never get my rec and I just won't work with them.
Yeah. And has
Yeah.
that happened?
Yeah, it's happened actually at my last WIPA event. It ended kind of salty, but it's okay. I just know that I'm not for that planner. That planner is not for me, and that's okay. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's natural, but hopefully they're reaching out to you because they know you, they know your brand.
Yeah, I think they try to. I had another planner friend who was trying to build that connection between us, but it just didn't work out that way, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you a part of a lot of the networking, Eileen?
Not really. I was last year, but I had a lot of personal struggles come up last year with a lot of like family loss. I had my car accident. I just couldn't be community driven as I was. I hope maybe next year I'll be able to jump back into that. But I broke some ribs in my hand and a lot of loss of life in my family. So I just needed to
Yeah.
step back for a minute and just focus on myself and my family.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of florists don't see that work. I mean, I love your approach by just saying, you know what, I'm happy to do this, but do you do that with styled shoots too? I'm happy to do this,
Um,
but
Style shoes, yeah, that was different. If it's a planner that always like feeds me clients, then I will without a doubt always say yes. Even photographers, if they have scratched my back, like I'm gonna do a style shoot for them tomorrow, and they did my family style shoot for free. You
oh, the
know,
one with the roses
yeah,
and
the road they did that one, so I'm doing their. It's not very big, but like it's a photography one, so it's like a little bit of flowers.
yeah,
Of course, I was like, let's go all out, and they're like, no, I'm like, oh.
do something
Uh,
cool.
yeah, so but we're gonna do that one for free. It's a lot of give and take. You got to play ball. If you don't know how to play ball with the right people, then you're gonna lose money.
Yeah. How do you think you've gotten to the place where you know how to play ball with the right people?
They have to be people who interact with you willingly, people who are always supporting you, people who will always recommend you. I and also like I do a couple style shoots for planners that are just getting their head in the game. And
Yeah.
they even if they try to feed me clients, but they're not always booking, they're at least trying, because I might be out of their price point. We're not the cheapest florist, we're not the most expensive florist in town. But if you really believe in someone's company, you don't know how far they're gonna go. So you want to make sure that you set them up. For example, I booked a wedding in December, and there's a planner who I'm really good friends with. We haven't worked together too often, but I've known her. And the client came at us with not the biggest budget, but my intention is to make that wedding the wedding for her. So really turn it up, increase its budget with my own personal money.
Yeah.
That way, she will have that portfolio and it's at a good venue. She's a good planner and she has a good photography team. Like those three things are essential. You can't just do a really nice wedding for someone at a less than I want to use the word a less than premium venue, if that makes sense. You
Right.
have to be
Not
very
worth it.
selective on when you're going to do it. What's the season? If it's winter, you're slow. Everyone's slow in Texas in winter. That's when you should do it, because there'll be plentiful flowers. No one's buying flowers, which means there's a huge surplus. Like all these little things I'm always thinking about.
Yeah. So part of what I thought was interesting is that you just really show up in your business on Instagram. And it sounds like that has done really well for you. Like you have, I think, is it 15,000 followers or more than that? 20,
31.
31. Holy shit. I totally had it wrong. That's a lot. I mean, like you've worked really hard for that.
Yeah,
It's hard to
it's
get
been
100 followers sometimes. So I can't imagine being in the, oh yeah, you just did celebrate when you hit 30, didn't you?
it was a
Like
20, but we're about to do a new shoot. We got some polo jackets. We're going to celebrate 30, 30. Yeah.
that is amazing. How do you think you got there? Like, I think everybody just doesn't understand like the big picture of what it even takes to get there.
I think people want to see who you are as a person. And there's a fly right there.
Mhm.
Got it. Yes, I killed it. Sorry.
Yay.
I think people just really want to see who you are. It's not just the pretty flowers. They want to know the things that you like to do, how silly someone can be, because
She can act
Everything's,
pretty silly sometimes, which is
yeah, we
very
can be
entertaining.
really silly, and that's just who I am, and I want to like let your viewers know that it's okay to be nervous, on camera. I get really nervous on camera. I don't even like to make my recordings with my wife in the studio. She got to be upstairs or in the console room because I get really self-conscious about my appearance. As hard as that may, as unbelievable as that may sound, sometimes I'm very uncomfortable in my own skin doing the things that I do on camera because it's just not my personality to be like that. But
How
I
do you
know
do then?
that,
Yeah. How do you show up when you're nervous and when, things don't feel good? And I mean, you show up not just like once a week. I mean, you're consistently showing up in your business like crazy. And I think as a coach, what I hear is people are like, that sounds scary, and so I can't do it. How do you get past, yes, that's scary, but I still do it?
you're gonna feel stupid, and I'm just gonna just tell people you just gotta do it. And you gotta find things that work for you. Don't be afraid. What I do is I'll put a mirror in front of my actual phone,
Yeah.
and that way I can see what I look like. You just gotta really practice and practice and practice and make sure that your videos they're with intention and with a message. Like as you can be as thirsty or as educational as you want it, as long as your message comes across as positive. I
Yeah.
think positivity is what the people want, especially in these days where things are so negative.
I agree. Because if your feed is just inundated with everything, like the world sucks, which,
Yeah, like this,
honestly, it does sometimes.
like I notice a lot of the florists are like, you gotta pay $8,000 for an arch. You gotta pay $6,000 for a tall centerpiece. Like all these, it's such a negative. It puts a negative spin on floristry as an industry.
Yeah.
Like maybe give out options instead. Like
And for
maybe you
one,
don't
you
want to
don't
push a
have to do
three. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, like you
Like,
don't have to do like a trio of bud bases. You could do like 6 or 9 on a round table. Like give people options with different price points and let your consumer connect with you as a business because a lot of people are looking for the best value and you want to show them that you can be flexible with your value.
yeah, and I think we focus on value, and so many florists focus on price. And I think that that's where people fall short. And there is always somebody that can be lower price than you.
Yeah,
But you deliver an immense value in your design aesthetic, in your personality. I'm guessing your customer service is amazing. Your details are probably pulled off flawlessly because it sounds like your wife is the organizational queen of the world. I mean, like, that isn't the case in most businesses. Like, people are flying by the seat of their pants. We have somebody that does like 90 weddings in my market, and when I look at her shit, like, her eucalyptus is dead on her tables. And
yeah,
it's like, oh my God, how could you? But that's somebody's business that is busy, and that's what they're doing. And people are still booking. So there's always someone. And I'm guessing like you've just really attracted a lot of someone's because of your personality. And you've done that showing up scared, which you should be really proud of yourself because most people, especially most people that have coached, just won't even do it, period.
yeah.
But is it like that for just you? Or I know your wife isn't, your wife is a big part of the business, but I know she is kind of running the background and you're doing more of the design. Is it easier to show up when you're designing flowers or when you're just talking for you?
Can you rephrase the question?
Well, you also do like just talking, like talking about just, but you do a lot of design videos. Like
Mhm.
I had to zoom in. I'm like, is he using a chicken egg?
Yeah.
Is he using a little chicken wire thing? And so you do a ton of designing on there. Does one of those feel more comfortable for you, or is it kind of just like I'm doing it no matter what?
I think
Either
I'm
one.
just kind of doing it no matter what. And I won't post half the content I record.
Really? Because you don't like it, or because
Yeah, if I don't like it or I feel like I don't have the right messaging for that particular video. Like, or even like something as silly as the right song to match that particular vibe, or maybe I'm not looking my Instagram best.
you curate some pretty funny
Yeah,
songs
it's a
like that.
little,
I think there was one last week where was it Candy Shop or something. I mean, it was just
oh my gosh, that was hilarious. A lot of that, what I would tell people is if you're, I got that video inspiration from a girl who was selling tacos, and her client said that the tacos are not hot enough, and then she did that whole kind of like thirsty spiel. You
Yep.
just take any content like that and just make it floral related.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I don't
that
know if you,
video did really well for you, didn't it?
yeah,
Like,
it did pretty good. The cactus video,
yeah.
that one almost got 3 million views on TikTok. I know,
Well, hey,
and I know, and that was a dude cooking eggs, and he dropped the pan and caught the pan. So I just caught a cactus instead.
did it hurt?
Yeah, that tear was real.
That deer was real. And
Yeah, so
you probably have lots of cactuses. Is it really dry where you guys are?
yeah, but we had a wedding. You know that super big fall y'all install we did?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was for that wedding,
Not that I'm
and
stalking you, but I watch your Instagram content. You guys,
maybe
you should follow him if you do not, because it is not only like watching you design your bouquets, you can see how much joy they bring you. And it's so funny because I teach a lot of people bouquets. It's like joy sucking. So it's fun for me as, a florist to see somebody who's really just getting into it and also see you being hard on yourself because I've seen you tear apart things too. And, just be like, that sucked. I'm redoing it. And I don't think as creatives we document the messy moments that gets
yeah,
you to the beautiful piece. And so I really applaud like being able to post content like that because it's not,
yeah. No, I think that's a big thing. If you're not happy with something, don't just let it out. Start again, and that's like super okay to do. I have had bouquets that like I've done 4 or 5 times, or when we were at home studio, I would wake up the morning of the wedding at 2 a.m.,
hate
go
it.
downstairs and redo it because I just cannot let it go. I
Yeah.
can't, it's just not in my, it's part of like my Japanese training. Like if it's not perfect, it's not acceptable, you know? It's just something that's really like engraved in me as a person. I don't like people to see when it's not my best.
Are you hard on yourself? Because I get a vibe that you're hard on yourself.
Yeah, I am really hard on myself.
Do you,
I
because
also I feel like I have something to prove, as a male in the industry. When I first started, I felt like I was like, there's a lot of ladies here in Texas,
I
and I just
imagine.
feel like seen as a threat. Somebody, I'm Latin, I'm from Hawaii, I'm just like not a part of Texas.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of people just saw me as like, oh, who's this dude? Or I'd even get like hate comments or like even got phone calls at one time, someone would call me and like, you suck, like, like just like really like ugly like messages and texts. And I think a lot of that comes from like jealousy because of how fast we go,
Yeah.
as fast as we've grown. And I just had to, and those kinds of comments and that type of negativity only drives me to try to do it better, be better, not to make people more jealous, because I want the people who hate me to like me, as
Yeah.
toxic as that sounds. But
Well, we want everybody to like us. I mean, it's
yeah, I really
natural.
wants everyone to, and that's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that it's mainly because you were a man and showing up in like a different kind of way than a traditional florist, or do you think it was your growth that kind of sparked that?
I think a mixture of both. Like I think as a dude, I can get away with a lot. No one's gonna call me a slut.
Yeah.
There is a double standard. It's awful, totally awful. I would never say that to I wouldn't encourage people to see the passion behind floristry. You can be passionate and be really fun about it.
And that
Um,
doesn't assign gender to passion.
yeah, don't, yeah,
It's
it doesn't,
so
you
weird
can,
to me.
yeah, you can just do whatever you want. It's your business, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
What do you think has really been like the key ingredient to you building a business in 3 years, doing 50 weddings at the average that you're doing? I mean, that's like skyrocket growth. You had to move out of your home studio. It looks like are you in a building now or like
We're in a warehouse, but it's
warehouse?
pretty big. Yeah, I would show you the back, but we are reorganizing because that's a whole nother story. Like we,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
um,
constant. I mean, we just moved and like everything, we moved to a farm and everything is gone in the barn because
yeah. Like I don't know. We just realized that we're not gonna have enough space for all of our weddings in October, so we had to reactivate the home cooler because the garage is still enclosed and
Okay.
operate our San Antonio weddings out of that because it's just not gonna fit, you know?
You need a backup cooler after you put
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, that's because I mean, how hot is it down there in October?
Well, it really varies. Sometimes it could be 70, sometimes it could be 90. Like,
Oh yeah, that's tough.
yeah, it's really, and it's still really hot right now. And I just think everyone should just have a fully operating cooler. Like, that's first and foremost. None of this little cool room. You gotta have a cooler.
I
It
know
doesn't,
that I
yeah,
get asked about cool rooms all the time,
a
and
lot of
it's
people
like,
don't do
no.
it. Like, I mean, I don't have like a super cooler. It's like we built it, we framed it. It's just a room, but it's very functional.
Is it a
You know,
cool bot or what?
it's a cool bot. Yeah.
And does that work well for you?
It works very well as long as you use insulation panel high grade. You don't use the cheap one. Use the $75 one.
Oh, the $75 panel.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you make one before that didn't use the 75 and it was like,
Nope. I always use the best. Oh, it's actually no joke. That's mine. Sorry. Jenny, it's my wife.
hi,
Hi.
Jenny.
Sorry.
That's okay. We were just talking about your cooler and all the
Yeah.
amazing things that you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have that, you have this other one, so you just have, I mean, a lot. You have your weddings have just kind of blown up. And do you think that's because planners? Do you think that's because showing up on social media? What do you think really?
I would say it's luck, just because of my background, always just being involved in flowers, coming to Texas, immediately working with planners. Like we moved, and it was 2 weeks later. I'm working at this big event company selling weddings, not knowing what I was doing, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's through these relationships that you kind of nurture and you build a bond with people. You really become friends with them, and that has led me to grow as much as I did. Obviously, social media, but following for me means nothing. I post on Instagram for fun. It doesn't really help I mean, it is brand awareness, but it doesn't like help me that much, you know?
You
I
don't think
never get like a
you get the
form.
message that says Instagram? Because I get the form that says Instagram a ton.
No, I get all my forms through my website.
No, I mean, but the source, do you ask source?
No,
Oh, I asked source and they
I
said,
get like 50% of my weddings through like planners. The other
oh,
50 are through my website.
okay.
I should really put that, yeah, source. I know where they're coming from.
Yeah, the source is
Um,
helpful. Well, I like it when, especially if it is a referral from a planner, they put
yeah.
that in there. So
Or
right
being on a
away.
preferred vendors list. That's great. You know, at venues, we're on quite a few, so that's
Okay.
been really helpful. But that's just happened this year. Like we started getting on a lot of them for the in 2026. We got put on 3 other vendor lists, so that's really beneficial. You know, being friends with these venues and cleaning up after yourself and helping them whenever you get the chance. Like just be that florist that is helpful. We'll help the venue put out chairs if we have some time, you know, or
Yeah.
clean up the leaves, you know, off the grass. Like it's not that difficult to be like respect the place that you're working at.
Yeah. And honestly, that doesn't happen a lot. Like I liked it no trace left behind. Like
Yeah,
can't tell that we were here.
yeah,
And that is not what I hear from venues. Like
yeah,
venues are like, we literally, it looks like a tornado went through here and the florist didn't care.
yeah,
Because I'm on a lot of preferred vendor lists and it's like, why don't we care? Like that's our
yeah,
brand. That's part of our brand is even
yeah,
showing up at the venue.
yeah. And I don't know what is with these florists and not like staying to repurpose and like candles. When did that come become a thing? Because we always stay to light candles, almost
Oh,
always.
in Minnesota, like the catering company or the venue lights all candles.
Really? Lucky
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we don't
Usually
have to.
catering will do it, but it's our business model to stay.
And do
It's
you
our
usually charge for
huh? It's
staying
all inclusive. It's just part of a you get charged for that obviously in the
the
setup fee.
setup
You know,
fee?
we break it down. It's not a percentage. We don't do that 30% thing. We like really break it up like into 4 different parts.
Okay.
Delivery, setup, breakdown, and then there's of course a rental cleanup fee because someone needs to do it.
Yep.
Um, and that gets charged by the person. So sometimes it can be very large.
So you
Um,
charge a cleanup fee to clean up rentals afterwards.
yeah,
And like what I've never heard of anybody doing that. Like what does that look like?
I
Is
usually charge like if it's like depending on like the wedding, if it's like a little $6,000 wedding, then it's like and then I know in my mind that they're gonna need at least 4 hours to clean all those vases up and put it away, you know? So you get charged like 120. If it's a bigger wedding, you'll get charged like 240 or 360. Depends on how big the wedding is that fee will change and how much candles. It's basically a candle cleanup fee
yeah, candle.
because
Yeah.
nobody wants to clean up that. So,
No, it sucks.
and I'm not gonna do it. Like I honestly don't do it.
Yeah. Do you do a lot like just tapers, pillars?
Yeah, I never use like traditional pillar candles anymore. I use the stone candles, the candles with the hole inside.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're like quartz or
They're
like
like, no, they're real. These bad boys. They're wax. They just have like hole in it. You just pop an oil insert in it, throw it in a vase, call it a day.
what?
Yeah,
What company makes those?
Q candles. They're out in California.
U candles or new candles?
Q, like literally Q.
Q candles.
Q candles. They custom size, custom colors. They just last forever. Obviously, you still have to put the paper wrap before you throw it in the cylinder. You make the
Yeah.
mark, but you
Yeah.
know, you
Oh,
just
because it
use
is
it.
waxy and so it will mark up your
Yeah, they're real. They're real candles. Yeah,
crazy. I was
I
thinking
know.
for you and you that pearlized. What do you think of the pearlized wax?
Oh, no. I got like a love and hate relationship with them. I love that they're just so easy, but they get dirty.
I know.
Like they get dirty. Like so every 2 events we have to dump everything out. They make like, this powdery thing. Or like, you're throwing like the breakdown stuff in a van and the leaves will get in and turn into little black specks. And I will literally sit there and like make my people like go get every little black speck because I hate it. Like
Yeah.
I love and hate it. But for me, stone candles are for the win.
So that's amazing. Good tip.
Yes.
And then I probably will ask you for if I can't find it for the company
The
name so
link,
we can
yeah.
put it in the show notes because people are always looking for
The easy way. Yeah, I don't know why people keep using traditional candles. I'm just like, stop doing it's a waste of money because you can still charge whatever you want to charge, $10 or $15 a candle, just use the same thing over and over again. No mess, no
and you put an
fuss.
oil insert in there, it looked like, right?
Yeah. Yep. And when you buy that in bulk, and they're like 34 cents if you buy like over 1,000.
That is so
You
good.
know?
I'm a yummy candle person. Like I get
I,
all
I love yummies. Like their taper candles, we always use
so
it's
good.
flawless. Flawless. But
Mhm.
I think I sell more pillar candles because I charge a little more for tapers because of the sleeve, you
Yeah, I
know?
mean that's a lot to clean. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Do you
it
have
is.
their taper candle things or you kind of have all
Oh
of
no, I use almost exclusively yummies unless I like forget to order something and I'm like, oh, I got an Amazon and I only use D-Light if that's my like plan B.
D-light?
D-Light candles, they're the next dripless candles.
Dripless. I've had some dripless candles that I was
Yeah.
like, what are you guys smoking? Because
Nah,
they
but like
not
D-Light is
warm.
really good. They're almost yummies good.
Hmm. Interesting. And they're on
Mhm.
Amazon?
Yeah. They're definitely for quick fix because we're all people, so we always
Well, and yummy
yeah.
sometimes can take forever. And
Yeah, I
this
know.
like Canada coming into our country thing,
Yeah.
it sometimes gets complicated and
Yeah, I love those new tariff clause, the little line item. Like, oh my God.
I know. And I mean,
It's
I'm in
annoying.
Minnesota, so I would get it way faster than you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like right there, but I
Yeah.
imagine getting it to Texas,
My wife tries to buy them like for a 6 week period and then we'll buy in bulk again. So sometimes we're buying like 300, 400 candles every few weeks.
yeah, she's so organized.
She
So
is.
organized. I love
She
it.
is. She's sitting
You
over
guys
there.
have to be with the volume you guys are doing.
We definitely do. I've noticed it's been getting harder and harder trying to keep things running smoothly around here. Or the bigger we get, the more freelancers I need.
Yeah,
Um, but the talent is sometimes not there.
yeah,
So I struggle with that. Like I make a mock up and I'll present it to them, be like, okay, you gotta make 10 of these. And every single time, like something really wrong with it. Or the mechanic is showing, and we're not like the kind of florist who like
you don't
is
want that to.
less we always have more than enough. We always have there's extra greens. So I don't understand like the problem there. Like it's a whole another conversation.
Yeah, freelancers can be tricky and it's kind of a necessary evil because you have to have them, but I try to approach it like it's my job. Somebody comes in the studio to help them, educate them, and hopefully elevate them.
Yeah,
So I want to make sure that, it might not necessarily be how they would do it when they have a wedding, but they're at least learning a different way.
yeah,
But not everybody's receptive to
yeah.
that. Sometimes it's like, I've been doing this way for umpteen years. And I was just like, well, I don't,
Like you've been doing it wrong for that
you've been
long.
doing it wrong or it looks like shit. Like,
Yeah,
inevitably, like, that's not my studio. Like, I'm
yeah,
not going to do something that looks like a funeral parlor, is at a wedding. It's just
yeah.
not going to happen.
We
But
actually have some we call them our interns. The high school reached out to us and we're gonna get three of them twice a week. And they're gonna come and just help out with hard goods and stuff. And I'm hoping that every week we'll be able to like set aside some flowers for them, to like play with. I almost always try to save almost as much breakdown flowers as possible. And I use those breakdown flowers for like content video or like just even practicing. I like to play with flowers a lot. So it's kind of
you
like
guys
my
have a
journey.
place to donate them as well?
Yeah.
Nonprofit?
Yeah, we do have there's push for petals.
Pusher
They push
petals?
up
Okay.
push pedals, but anything that we have in house, we're right next to a church. So
Okay.
there or our warehouses are we call them our neighbors. They have wives and stuff. So like make them arrangements for their lobby or whatever and just give it to them.
Just doing good deeds all the time. Sounds
Doing
like
good deeds, what we're
it.
about.
So what I know we're getting close to time probably, but what do you think was the biggest key component of the success you guys are having right now?
Stick to the goal.
Stick to the
What
stick to the goal.
Goal.
stick to the just yeah, no matter what anyone tells you,
And
I think
always
just always just staying true to who you are, your brand, and why you started your business in the first place. I think, and then being really open and honest about that. I think the people has been very receptive to that. That we have remained true to who we are as a business, regardless of on how big we've gotten. And we hope to continue to stay that way for as long as I own this company. That we're gonna be that florist. The florist for everyone.
we always go to the question like, why did we start this business?
Yeah, my
We always have to.
Yeah, my wife. Yeah, we think about raising our prices, but then we'll lose ourselves. I mean, obviously, we're a profitable business. We need to stay profitable. We need to pay our bills.
We got a building.
Yeah, we have a building, so
Yeah.
um, but we don't want to price gouge just because everyone else wants to, or because
Right.
certain people are telling me to. I
Yeah.
think that will destroy our business.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
your reputation is your business. And
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
So, how do people follow along? Of course, I'll put everything in the show notes, but where do we find you? So, you're on Insta, you're on TikTok.
so
Um,
TikTok, and that's basically threads, but we're never really posting on there. We are gonna play around with doing school. Have you seen that app? It's like a
yeah,
teaching. Yeah, so doing like little like tutorials on how to make arrangements and stuff. We're gonna try to start that, but it being fall season now, it's really difficult for us to find time to, make a real 20-minute video on how to make an arrangement.
yeah.
Um, but just reach out to us. I feel like a lot of florists like DM me on Instagram. With the amount of notifications we get, things do get lost, and that's like the
Yep.
downside of having that amount of followers. And we're sorry for that, but we do try to get back to everyone.
You're human.
With yeah, it's
And
a
is it
lot.
the same social? Is it so? Can you spell it out so just so everybody can go find it?
Oh, it's at Jo.An Floral Design. FLORALDESING. I can't spell, so
That's okay. It'll be in the show notes too. But it
yeah.
was so amazing to talk to you. I hope you guys got little nuggets out of our conversation because I think that there were so many in there that I think are lessons that some florists never learn, and that's why their business just kind of stays where it is. So, congratulations on 30K and congratulations on like where you're at in 3 years. You and your wife and your whole family should just be so proud.
Thank you so much, and thank you to you for you've been with us since the beginning, so you
Yeah,
know, and
I
you're doing so well too. I loved your new brand shoot. That was spot on.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
It
I
was good.
I love pink and orange and green. I'm gonna be doing another one pretty soon. I'm excited. You run out of content fast. It's like I just took a bunch of pictures, but let's
Yeah, I know.
do it
I know.
again. All right.
I
Well,
know.
thanks. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Hey, Jenny. Bye.